Hello everyone and welcome to this new edition of Back Home. Today we are honored to have with us a very distinguished figure. He is an Arab, an Egyptian, he is Muslim, and he is the first Arab Egyptian Muslim to be awarded the highest title in Denmark. Actually, he started his career at a very early age. Although he has never been to universities and he never completed his education, yet he became an international figure. He is a tourism expert and he is also the president and founder of an international group here in Egypt. His fame is worldwide. He gives seminars and lectures around the world, and his audience covers students, world leaders, distinguished figures, top officials, and even university presidents. Stay with us for more because today our guest is Mr. Enan Galaly. In this edition of Back Home, we are honored to have with us Mr. Enan Galaly. He is a tourism expert, and actually, I have to tell you some of his titles because he's senior advisor, the president's special representative in the International Association of University Presidents. He is also ambassador of the Heart Foundation in Denmark, and he is also founder and chairman of the Scandinavian Business Association, and he is the founder and chairman of an international group. Where can I start, Mr. Galaly? I mean, let's start from the early beginning. Surprisingly enough, all of these titles, and you've never been to university before. So tell me the story.
The story is that I failed to get the high school exam in Egypt. And this was because my father was officer, and he changed his career to be a student in the university, and he have so many books in our homes. So I hate the books he took my father from me, which I loved so much. So my way to hate these books, that's I don't read, I don't want to go to the school, I don't want to get examined, I don't want to be academic like all my sisters or my aunts or my uncles. And I was foreigner in my home. I was foreigner in the clubs, which I went in that time, and the foreigner between my friends. So the only ways to go out of this situation, to travel away, to be a real foreigner.
And when was the first trip?
First trip was when I have not succeeded in the high school, and it was, I left the country to Vienna, and I have only had approximately $10 in my pocket. And while we lived in very nice life, middle class or over middle class.
Did this trip shape your life, your first trip ever? And why did you choose Vienna in particular?
It's the only country I got visa. I choose so many countries. I gone to many different embassies, and the first embassy they accept to give me a visa. So I took it and took my $10 in my pocket and left the country.
And how was that experience for you?
It was very tough. It was very hard to, it was sensitive because I left my home, I left my sporting clubs here in Alexandria, which in the summertime I have been there. I left my family, I left my friends, I left my relatives. So it was very, very hard to be alone and so young between countries. I even don't speak English at that time. Because in that time was revolution time, and in our schools, English was not preferred language. So I was foreigner, and I felt myself foreigner, and until today I'm feeling myself foreigner even in Egypt.
And why is that?
Because when I'm working in Egypt and even have my connection between the people and between my social life or business life, So my thinking have been changed because I have been developed myself a lot outside the country. So they always tell me, hello, wake up, man. We are not here in Europe or United States. We are in Egypt. So take care about what you're saying or take care about your decisions. And in Europe or different countries in the world where I am operated through my group, I am an Egyptian. So I am foreigner there, and also I am foreigner here. And this is the price what we pay to leave our roots and go to a new countries to find try to find a better life or try to change something of our facts in our life.
How did you start your career?
I started my career in the hotel industry as a dishwasher, even not for money or for a salary, but for a meal, because I have been in the streets weeks and weeks, eating from the garbage cans and eating what the people left in the garbage. So, and I slept in the phone boxes in many times, because the telephone boxes in that time was a closed box. So, and that time I can like
Shelter
warm,
yourself,
yes,
Shelter yourself.
shelter myself, and at the same time I'm get the warm from my own breath. It's not open boxes like today. So the only ambition I had in that time to get a bed to sleep and a meal a day.
And when did you do this?
I done that after I suffered a lot that I cannot live anymore from the garbage. So I went to many times to hotels, because I have been also in the industry, in the factories, to ask for getting a job. But I thought if I get a job there, I will get a salary after 1 month or after 2 weeks. This will be a problem. I need the food today. So I started to offer to get a job a whole day just to give me a meal. And this was my chance, and by this way I started my first job for a meal, not even for a salary or for future employment or for ambition. And all my life it was this my only ambition.
And how was the development through your career?
The development was because when I achieved my goal to get a bed and to get a meal, I felt discriminated. A lot of discrimination against me. That time, and you know, Egypt was very highlighted, the Arab world was very highlighted by wars, socialist movement, and this very difficult to be accepted in the Western country and capitalist countries. So because I have faced many situations that has put me in a very bad condition and very bad very bad situations, and it can affect my psychology and my feeling. I started to make a development that I have to be better than those people that discriminate me. So I have to work.
So it was a challenge for you.
Exactly. A challenge to be respected, number one, and number two, to get experience. This is what I have worked for. I have not worked for get money or get better positions. No, I felt that I'm not respected, and I felt I'm so young, I don't have experience enough. So why I accept such condition, and why I will blame the people that discriminate me?
Mr. Galaly, I know that you've been around the world. You traveled to almost all world countries, but tell me about the most countries that fascinated you the most.
Most country was Singapore. Because Singapore, I have been with an official delegation from Denmark to visit Singapore. And we met in that time the Prime Minister of Singapore, and I asked how you develop one of the most richest countries in the world without any natural sources.
Without any assets again.
Without any assets.
Yeah.
And with different culture, different religions in the same
Yes.
Country. And this was a small country, not big, not huge, but they achieved respect, they achieved values, they achieved laws, they achieved many things. And I was very fascinated how they done it. And they done it even not with 100% democracy, but they done it by a way that is strict laws, condition, and the government have only focusing in infrastructure. And they open the doors for many business people from around the world to become citizen and at the same time to develop the country in different sectors. It was very clear mission that is they have focusing in roads, in airports, in harbors, in different infrastructures, and they let all the other sectors for the business people to develop by their own money, not by the government money. I was very fascinated from how Singapore have developed themselves. The second country also was South Korea. I felt it is fantastic. The people, when they're walking in the street or walking in the airport, if they find, some of them find a paper on the street, they take it up to make the street clean or to make the airport clean.
Yes.
I was very fascinated from such countries, development countries, and they achieved a respectable living standard and respectable name and respectable production, respectable opportunity for the people, and also respectable economy and words.
Well, unfortunately, our time is up, but my questions are not yet over for Mr. Enan Galaly. So don't forget to join us again next week, same time, as we continue our discussion with our guest, Mr. Enan Galaly. Until then, it's goodbye.